Lebrun against Wang and Lin today. Elsewhere, Buroso and Dor are up against Lin and Gao. Wow, what a way to start things off. And let's get to our Infinity Light Show to set the scene.
Doors are closing.
More certificates of entitlement or COE 开转不安排的本电子收入的贸易者反为这可能搞什么
Change at the next station for the Circle Line.
Singapore Smash fans, for the first time this afternoon, let's count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Introducing your first duo from China, Wang and Lin Shidong. And their opponents from France, Alexis and Felix Lebrun.
Loving the party atmosphere here this morning. Outrun the Lebrun brothers to their walk-on music. A bit of Cantonese tonality from beyond for the Chinese pair coming out earlier on. We have got the circle line going on. All sorts of wonderful things happening here as the light show heralded spectacular doubles action here to start off this day in the Infinity Arena. Fabulous stuff, and this is what we have in store. First meeting between these two pairs. It's a best of 5 games, and you kind of wish there might be more because we are working towards the final of this competition. This semi-final features the men who picked up 3 WTT doubles titles in their career, the Lebrun brothers, most recently, of course, crowned European champions, winners of the WTT finals in Fukuoka, and they're up against Wang and Lin Shidong, who, of course, in their own right as singles pairs and with other partners in doubles, are formidable.
Players, come for the toss.
Ingrid Bogren calls the players over. We'll be delving deeper into the quality of this matchup very, very soon. All right, those are the arrangements in terms of how this one gets up and running.
Black or red? Black, you are red. Black, winner, Lebrun, receive. This side. And Wang and Lin serve.
Well, they are ready. There's a huge
Wang.
attendance in the Infinity Arena right now for this one.
Stop to serve. Lin.
And finally, we work out who's serving. Fraser Riley's with me for this one here. We know so much about the Lebrun brothers and what they've done in a relatively short space of time. When you consider the first time they actually played together was 2021. And surely after that, in 2022, they picked up the first of their WTT titles, that feeder in Dusseldorf. This is their road here, a bye. And then they were pushed fairly hard by Lim and An in the round of 16 before a hugely impressive quarter-final win.
Yeah, especially impressed with that result there against Benedict Dudar and Dang Cho. I'm expecting nothing less than a very spicy and feisty battle here against this newly introduced pair from China.
Yeah, let's have a little look at this newly introduced pair and what they can do, because as far as singles play is concerned, we seem to have seen Lin Shidong on this table non-stop during the course of this week here. He's fighting on a number of fronts and fighting brilliantly 19 years old. The senior partner is, of course, Wang Chuqin there. A left-right combination. What do you like about these two just as a doubles pairing?
Well, obviously in singles they're dangerous enough, so together it's double trouble. Here's their run through. They could have dropped the second game against Chua and Chu of Singapore, and then they beat the former world champions from Houston. That was amazing there against the Swedes. They really showed nous, and obviously they've been training behind closed doors together quite a lot, the way that they gelled in the Infinity Arena for that one.
That's the thing, isn't it? They can train in these conditions, in these circumstances, but now they got the eye on the prize. And remember, there are world ranking points and ITTF rankings to be won in doubles. 2,000 go to the champions, 1,400 for the finalists. That's what's up for grabs most immediately here today. And of course, it's a huge prize pot. We're getting towards the closing stages now here in Singapore, which means that there are players looking at those big numbers in terms of points and also dollars. Day 6, we got men's singles and women's singles at the quarterfinal stage. We have a final right at the end of the day in the mixed doubles to come, and it's semi-finals in the men's and women's doubles. Day 7, of course, sees us with 2 more finals in the men's and women's doubles, and then we come to the singles finals on Sunday, the final of the 8 days here in Singapore. What a start to this. All eyes, all cameras, everything focused on this doubles matchup. And the fan vote has gone 75% against the reigning world #1s.
Yeah, whether you're showing love or making a prediction, thanks for getting involved there. Please do as well for all the matches that we have here.
Here we go.
First game, Lin to serve, level. 1, love.
And as we always say, Fraser, you look at the individuals' singles outings, and for the Lebrun brothers, it's been a tale of contrasting fortunes here, but they have to put that behind them. Now it's about them as a pair.
Absolutely, John. Yeah, Felix having a disappointing run in singles, upset by the Chinese Taipei #2, Gao Zhongrui. He'll be especially hungry here to get some compensation.
3, 1.
And individually, of course, these players know all about one another, and that's why this one's going to be tasty, because there have been some formidable clashes between them down the years.
Yeah, in terms of singles, Alexei has defeated Lin Shidong. Felix has 2, but Wang defeated against these French brothers.
They're looking very sharp and grooved. Just a couple of points ago, we saw that opportunity for Wang Chuqin to really wind up, and in the doubles format in particular, he exaggerates that forehand, spins out of it.
Yeah, that pivot is just imperious. He sweeps the legs from beneath himself to carry that momentum through.
3-all.
Nice length, great finish.
4, 3.
Super finish deep and no getting back.
Felix with his penhold, very divisive, nice touch. Look at that from Alexei, that was so elegant.
What was interesting was, you know, we were hearing from the French fitness and conditioning coach with the traveling French players. The Lebrun brothers in particular have been working specifically on sort of boot camp fitness, working hard on their fitness levels, with a view to, in the course of this WTT calendar year, putting in 2 of those sessions to get fit, sharp, and well-conditioned, then turn to match sharpness. Now, that's not an excuse for Felix's departure earlier on, but you can understand what the plan is. They want to get fit to play and then make it through half a year and then do it again.
Yeah, they're looking for that tactical edge. Trying to muster up something new that, you know, the players that they played against previously haven't sort of seen from them. Didn't see them at the season opening Star Contender Doha or in Muscat.
And are you seeing any signs that they're any more physically dominant? I mean, Alexei in particular has looked in really strong nick.
Yeah, well, obviously Alexei's a few years older, so he's been able to hit the weight room sooner. With Felix, he's still growing, so you don't want to hit the weight room too hard. But now that he's 18, I'm sure we're going to see him sprout up even more than what we have. It's a nice run of points here from the Lebrun brothers.
Yeah, they've muscled their way to a 3-point advantage in this first game already.
Wow, neat and tidy with the touch play, trying to deny Wang and Lin that opening attacking opportunity.
Yeah, they kept things tight thus far, not allowing their Chinese opponents to really open up and explode, which they're so capable of doing.
Yeah, the Wang forehand, the Lin Chidong backhand, it's makes for a very, very dangerous combination.
Oh, that's beautiful.
9,
And Felix
6.
with a flick backhand there to just capitalize on some excellent work from very deep.
That's outstanding. Well, I'm sure Wang Hao will even appreciate that. The Penhold legend there, seeing that RPB of Felix fly past the Chinese. Great shot.
7, 9.
Wang had actually slipped there, so good job that didn't land.
Yeah, he was in no position to receive.
Felix tried the Chiquita flick, coming more so around the side of the ball there.
Fabulous.
7, 10.
Alexei with another sign that he really is on his game. 3 game points for the Lebruns. But you don't stop
8.
these two when they are as grooved as they are. The Lebruns will know that if they give the Chinese pair a chance, they'll take it.
Yeah, an empty serve floaty, and Felix popped it up a tad too much on Chichin, injecting all that pace. Too good.
11,
But that goes
8.
long, and that means it's the first game for the French, who have the bit between their teeth here. The Lebruns have come to play. They mean business, and they now bustle across for a bit of advice. Very, very impressive start to this men's doubles clash of titans.
En fait, c'est pas des fautes, c'est pas eux qui marquent les points. D'accord, donc ça veut dire qu'il y a déjà un tactiquement c'est bon. Et 2, ça veut dire qu'on a encore une main.
Time.
A few final words of counsel from Nathaniel Moulin
Time, please.
to the Lebrun brothers, who have started very, very well indeed. 1 up already in this high-octane affair inside the Infinity Arena. Like what you see, Fraser?
No, very much so. I mean, they didn't get the best start actually to that game, but then
Who will
went
start?
on a hot streak.
Felix. Second game. Felix Lebrun to
It's
serve.
just fascinating. It just never gets old here, seeing a European Penhold player threatening
No flash, please.
to sort of overthrow Team China. It is just
Left,
something you would have never have seen
love,
coming.
all.
Oh.
Love, 1.
Positionally fabulous again from the Chinese pair there, but they need to string these together because you know that the Lebruns will come back at them.
Oh, the way they braced for impact there, that was brilliant. Heavy spin. They're just holding the table really well. Lebrun's getting an opportunity to attack, but it's tough when you've got the Chinese there just absorbing, sponging up that spin and speed.
And whatever lessons were learned from that first game loss by the players and Wang Hao, they've come up with a format that's got them off to a flyer in the second. Not his to hit, but
1, 3.
that was really in testament to, again, some sharp movement. They cross over so well, the Lebruns.
They do. For two right-handers, it's more difficult than what it is for Lin Shidong and Wang Chuqin.
Yeah, they'll naturally split and go their separate ways, won't they?
Yeah, we'll see different sort of movements in the heat maps between breaks.
They're fighting back.
3.
And that's a tribute again in that sort of mid-length area that we've seen from the Lebruns, particularly Alexi.
Yeah, he especially lives and breathes table tennis in the open play. A bit further back than Felix. Chop block there.
3 all.
I know there's nothing that you like more than seeing a good chop block in the middle of a point.
Look at that there, brilliant. Turns topspin into so much backspin and side spin, and even Lin Shidong with his backhand can't calibrate properly.
That's the flair he's got. And that time, that
4.
penhold push working to great effect.
Yeah, the advantage of the modern penhold grip is that you get a lot of flexibility with the wrist. It's especially useful in a serve-receive game. Felix there digging out with oomph.
Handy little run of points this now. They've put 5 together in a row, have the Lebruns.
Could see a timeout soon here from the Chinese. He continues to spiral out of control in game 2. Reset well though. I mean, the push is sort of coming back into fashion. It's always been the way to receive, but so many were trying to sort of flick out. See European players even using hybrid rubbers, which is slightly closer to what the Chinese use with their DHS to make it easier to counter heavy spin. So pushing is actually, I'd say, more popular than what it was about 5 years ago at the top level.
6.
And this game is just swaying from side to side. 3 now in a row for the Chinese pair. Oh, look at that from Felix.
7.
Furious at the miss. Support for what they're calling the Chinese team. Chinese pair, obviously, in action here.
5.
And they are on a roll. We talked about a timeout potentially one way earlier on.
It's all just a blur here.
8. 6.
When you have this much talent on
7.
show, every shot becomes an opportunity. Very little passive play going on here.
No, it's a fine line between being passive and controlled. Wang Hao's called a timeout here, hasn't he, John?
Yep. Yep. And his use of timeouts over the course of this Singapore Smash 2025 in various guises, particularly in this doubles format, has been exemplary. He just knows, doesn't he? He just knows a moment in a match when he has to get involved. As it is, they have that slender advantage, trailing by a game to love.
输不下去不好发力，那我在展览上都没可以，展览弱点上都可以，对吧？这个就可以。然后有的是也没问题，是吧？不好回了，那我再直接下去了，啊，包括发球就会有点变，拿不行的话，攻势也可以发，都可以，是吧？就是有点变化的，就注意连续，啊，这里头也是，包括从他这种发球里头，那因为后面接的很好，这个我是直接关节的时候，大伟这块直接一打，啊，短球里也行，后来往里你不那对手直接碰也有可能。 这后面注意些，要提前动啊，两个人还要有一个交流啊，很好，非常好。要注意衔接，其实后面就注意摆一摆，注意衔接。这个球，你看人，还是发不转。
Time.
It's presumptuous to even try and second guess what somebody of his status might say to players of that quality. Is there anything in particular that you'd be looking to if you were the Chinese pair, just to get across the line here in the second?
Well, sometimes, you know, a fan would, myself included here, expect the advice to be quite complex from Wang Hao, but I'm sure it's fairly simple
8,
here.
7.
Just reminding them of the basic foundations that they need to remember. It's a tense situation. Going too hard on tactics might not be the best idea at this moment.
Oh,
8
Alexei
all.
again relishing playing back off the table.
Ripping backhand of Lin Shidong. Look at that. That's Wang Chuqin-esque, isn't it?
Cartwheeling away from the strike. 8 each.
It serves as well here, the Frenchman.
8, 9.
You think back to Montpellier, don't you? And riding that wave of incredible noise and support there. It's the opposite for the French players here. Yep, there you go.
You have to imagine that's
8.
quite rattling, being here in the Infinity Arena, and feels like you're playing in the Chinese Super League.
Yeah, and the Chinese have 2 game points here on the back of that support. Can't
10,
take one though.
9.
Looks disgusted in himself, Wang Chuqin, for missing that forehand flick.
Oh, and just long.
11,
And
9.
this time it's
Game
Felix's turn to be
by
furious with
ending.
himself because they've dropped the second game, or rather the Chinese have wrested it away from them and got back to parity in this really competitive men's doubles semi-final here at Singapore Smash 2025.
这种轻松上来就很多东西注意流畅就行，两个人这个衔接注意保护啊。短球里头我能控制了我下去完以后注意衔接注意落脚就可以了，对吧？就是我人往前站一点，你这能抽。
Take a little look at some winning ball placement in that winning game outing there. Look at the depth they've had to come up with here in this match, Wang Chuqin and Lin Shidong.
Yeah, all of the winning touches that they've made have been to the middle of the table. That's quite interesting. And then a sort of dispersed amount of winners to the forehand and backhand side. I mean, variation is the name of the game, and we see it there. But a lot of short receives to forehand as well.
Just the ITTF Table Tennis World Rankings in men's doubles, and the Lebruns, as we said, out in front there ahead of Tagami and Shinozuka. But obviously you have players involved with different players, and that's why Wang's partnership with Lin Jiankun is up there in 3rd place there, and Lin Shidong, formerly with Lin Guoyan, before this new look team. Do you like what you see about this new Chinese pairing?
Oh, of course. I mean, they're world class. There's a reason they're coming in as third seeds, despite not having played together before. Shang Peng and Qin Zhijian there.
Let
Qin Zhijian, the
love all.
former personal coach of Ma Long. Shang Peng, one of the youth players for China.
1, love.
Yeah, when these players of this caliber get together, everyone's going to stop and have a look, aren't they? Everyone on the team, anyone near the team.
And they're both so young.
Oh,
Love.
yes.
2.
Did he say yes? Lin Shidong? I think he might have done there.
He well may have done. We do hear the Chinese saying that from time to time. It's the timing. There's no backlift on that backhand at all. It's sublime.
Love.
You don't need a big stroke to produce a powerful stroke. And, you know, in the modern game, especially slightly more close to the table with the plastic ball than we saw before, you have to be compact.
You see it in all manners of sports, but there are moments when a team and a good player knows and senses this is the moment to get on top, and they're doing it just now, harnessing a run of points, harnessing the support of the crowd. The Chinese are posing a major threat now to the Lebruns.
They're just relishing this opportunity here. They'll have the utmost respect for the Lebrun brothers, how fast their rise has been. You mentioned Montpellier. Felix, the champion there, he bageled Lin Shidong in the men's singles semi-final. Singles-only event. But a recent encounter.
1, 5.
They needed that. Boy, got themselves up and running in this 3rd game, the Lebruns. Again, how does he contort himself into the position to get that much on that stroke, Wang Chuqin?
Such a physically taxing style. Lebrun saw the opportunity, Alexei that is, of course, to make the angle, but it was so tough.
Both brothers there producing shots under extreme pressure.
There's been moments where Felix has come into the table a bit prematurely, but they're just waited long enough before taking on that backhand. Awesome.
6-3.
Premium quality here.
Yeah. Everything has that intent behind it that we talked about. Touch play. Wraps around the side of that Alexei. And Felix stayed on top of the ball. Well choreographed point there. Ooh, another push error from Felix.
7.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of those. And it's funny because just before that, he showed the highlights of being that penhold player and what he can get on the ball when he gets around it. They took it in turns.
8.
But the second from Alexei doesn't find its target. And now they're in a bit of trouble in this third game.
Yeah, that could be the straw on the camel's back there. Alexei will not normally miss those. I mean, the vast majority of serves that we're seeing here overall have no spin on them. They're so tight. And that means that it's very difficult to flick with spin and quality, and it's tough to push out as well with a lot of depth and backspin. That's where we've seen some of the pushes fly along.
Well, they're on the brink
3.
of taking out this third game and turning things around here. 7 game points for the team that has a serve.
4-10.
That was better.
It's a very nimble bit of flick play there from Felix. Is it too little, too late, though?
You're right.
11.
And a frustrating game there, summed up by that reaction from Alexei as they drop the third, and that's been the least competitive of our 3 games so far. 2-1 advantage for the pair from China.
Yeah, excellent how they've managed to turn the tables here, now leading after dropping that first game 11-8.
先长期出去以后，再短他俩就对不了了，对吧？就注意什么？他们这回换过来有。
Let's just check in on the Smash Arena, where the Chinese pairing of Sung Yisha and Wang Yidi are through with that in straight games against Bernadette Serge and Polkanova, and confirmation then that they've booked their place in the women's doubles final and await the winner of that tantalizing semi-final between Guaiman and Wang and Chen and Li. So much great action coming along. You hardly know where to look. Meanwhile, back in the men's doubles semi-final, it's a 2-1 advantage for the Chinese pair over the Lebruns.
Fourth game, Felix Lebrun to serve. Lebrun.
And there he goes again. And the Lebruns have got a problem now.
That's his trademark. Stamps his authority. The push doesn't quite have the surprise factor. It's instant punishment.
2-love.
Just a few signs of frustration creeping into the normally impassive Lebrun brothers, and they desperately need something to come their way as Nathaniel Moulin gets a chance to talk. As much as anything, they need to let off a little bit of steam here, don't they?
Sur celle d'avant, c'est pareil, déjà, c'est pour ça que tu es loin. Faut que tu sois plus sain, les épaules.
Coming up next, then, we have the birthday girl, 21 years old, Guaiman, who's going to be in action 3 times today, and Zhu Yuleng in the background, one of the amazing stories in world table tennis. Back from serious illness, back playing at the very highest level, a former world #1 who comes up against the 21-year-old in a mouth-watering prospect in the women's singles quarterfinals. That's up next on this table when finally we get to the completion of a match which seems to be going the way now of Wang Chuqin and Lin Sedong in the men's doubles semi-final. Unless the world's best European champions, the three-time WTT title winners, the world's #1 ranked pair, Felix and Alexei Lebrun, can do something.
No flash, please.
Heavy spin from the reverse panel backhand. It was a good push. Nice way to open their account here.
Let's have a think about what they need to do. First of all, cut out the mistakes. But it's so hard against this Chinese pair who are constantly asking questions.
I mean, with everything in life, but eventually against the Chinese players in table tennis, prevention's better than cure. You have to receive well enough to get on the front foot, to make their attack slightly weaker than what it is, as we see with the Lin backhand and the Wang forehand.
Yeah, great point. We saw that in the first game. Done to great effect. They shut down this Chinese pair.
And you've got to wonder how many of the mistakes here are forced and how many of them are unforced. I mean, it was high enough to tempt him in. But sometimes the most obvious choice isn't the right choice.
But now, as we get into the serious work in this fourth game, points become even more important. Those decisions become even more important, particularly for the French pairing.
Ooh, it clipped the net on the way through, but Lin Sedong finding his forehand against that Lebrun push. Barely attackable, but he comes in over it. Does it need to be a long ball for him to attack?
4-5.
And it's going to get a little bit hairy for the Lebruns right now. They're going to have to take a risk or two. Hold your breath, guys, as this is going to get tense now.
Wow.
6-4.
Crafty, cunning receive. I'd like to see this one again here because, I mean, it's hard to tell from that first one whether Alexei stepped in too prematurely or whether Wang fooled him with his foremotion. That receive.
7-4.
Brilliant. Lin Sedong started the point, psyching himself up vocally, and Wang Chuqin finished the job.
Classic there. Wang Hao can taste victory on the tip of his tongue as well. Make it or break it for the Lebruns.
5-7.
If they are to make it, they need to go on a run here. And they need to shut down the crowd a bit as well. Silence a very, very partisan Infinity Arena here in terms of the noise that's propelling the Chinese pair towards the final. Not this time for Alexei at the back of the table.
I think Felix may have lost a little bit of confidence in his push play. Great spin.
Let 5-8.
Skidded. And it was basically impossible for Lebrun to counter that. Alexei, that is.
But he's doing all he can, and it's been a feature of this performance that he's been driving so well from deep.
Well, they needed that bit of fortune there. Still in this.
Just about.
6.
Again, case in point, they just can't set it up, the Lebruns, and give themselves a chance.
Seven, 9.
That was tidy. Again, he's taking the leading hand, leading role in this.
That was a scrumptious angle here.
Scrumptious. Oh,
7, 10.
come up with an adjective for that one.
Well, it did clip the net on the way through, so slightly fortunate, but you take nothing away from the Chinese pair who set up 3 match points.
And they do it. And the number ones are down, and it is the Chinese pair who march into the final after a so impressive showing here. They win it in 4.
It's an excellent display. They've beaten the former world champions, Falcon Carlsen. They've defeated the world #1 pair. If anyone is going to beat them, it's going to have to be in the final. Brilliant performance from this pair who are playing together for the first time in a WTT series event.
If anyone was going to make a debut in style, it's these two. Having dropped out first, they then cruised really to the following 3 games there. And off they go now to prepare for other challenges to come. But as far as the men's double is concerned, well, job done for now. A fan-pleasing win, a coach-pleasing win for the Chinese pair there. Let's just get into our tech and have a little look at some of the landing points here. And Fraser highlighted that central ball placement earlier on. And you also wanted to see the foot movement as the Lebrun brothers were dragged around.
Yeah, it was just such good placement from Wang and Lin Chidong. You know, they barely even had to sort of force the Lebruns out wide because of how well they touched. Didn't just send the ball long without intent. Brilliant. And they deserve the win.
So confirmation of their place in the final.